Hey everyone, it's Kristen. So in the last video we talked about this Dazzler the movie, and we talked about basically we did part one because there's actually a lot more to get to in this than I thought there was, and so I ran a little long, so I apologize. But we'll just get right into it. And so where we left, Roman, the aging movie star, had said that he wanted Dazzler to be his co-star in his new movie. Um, and she agreed finally. And then she decided, she showed him her mutant power in the form of a laser vaporizing an ice bucket. And, well, I'll just go ahead and show you that panel because that's pretty much the last panel. And she's like, I know you think I'm a freak. And he's like, no, you're magnificent. And um, basically, Allison says that she loves him. And so the next day, Roman says, hey, I found a backer. And she's like, I know, it's right here in black and white. Our backer is Eric Beale. Okay, do you remember him from the very first, the other video? He was the guy that hit on her, had, Eric Beale Productions, and he said, I want to make you a star. You're incredibly sexy. With looks like yours, you can go really far with the right friend. Anyway, so she expresses her reservations to Roman and said, he's not a nice guy. He's a terrible guy. We shouldn't be in business with him. And Roman says, relax. I have complete control. I have final say in everything. Don't worry about it. There's nothing can go wrong. She's like, well, I guess, okay, if you say so, I'll trust you. But she's still not sure. And basically they go on, like a whirlwind publicity tour. They go to all the famous places, they have a party at his mansion. They go to Monte Carlo, the Riviera, St. Regis Hotel, Las Vegas, New York, just all the places. Oh, when she has reservations about Eric Beale being the backer, and he does say, "Why don't you run along and go shopping?" She's like, "Well, I guess so. I guess I need more, like, I need new clothes for the publicity tour and all the parties and stuff." So, and then they finally get back home from their publicity tour, and look, she's done more shopping. And she has a new look. She cut her hair. And she's like, oh, I hope Roman likes my haircut. And she tells the servants to take all the packages to her room. She can't wait to try all of them on. And you see her smoking and drinking. um, and then she's like, oh my gosh. She looks at herself in the mirror. Like I said, she spends a lot of time looking at herself in the mirror in this. And she's like, what is wrong with me? Like, I don't even recognize myself. And she's like, it's not just the clothes and the hair. It's that now, like, I put on a lot of weight. I've never been this flabby, which that to her is putting on a lot of weight. So whatever. But anyway, apparently to her it is. And she's like, I'm drinking and smoking, I can't believe this. What a nasty habit to have, especially for a singer, I'm sure. And there you go, just looking at herself in the mirror, like she always does. And she's glowing, because she likes to look at herself in the mirror, glowing. And Roman comes in, and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm naked. What are you doing? Why didn't you knock? Which is funny, because, like, they're basically living together, so. And he's like, did you see the papers? I hope you're not taking it too hard. And she's like, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, this, the big revelation to the world, you're a mutant. See, it says he is, his film to co-star mutant. I can't pronounce his last name. I'm not sure what it is. I don't want to embarrass myself. And she's like, oh my gosh, what? Who did this? And he's like, I did. She's like, why? Why would you do this? It's like, it's great publicity. Like, it's a brilliant ploy. Like, this will be the most talked about movie ever. It'll be a landmark. And the first movie starring a mutant, and this will, you know, make history, and he'll be revered as a visionary, and she'll be, you know, she'll be another Jackie Robinson. Okay, I guess, no. I'm not going to touch that, but you know, you know what he meant. And, he said, you're going to give a press conference tomorrow and, you know, basically demonstrate your powers. And, I mean, you know, cat's out of the bag already. So they have the press conference, everything's set up, and they have all these huge jets, and they're like, what's going on? Everyone's getting restless because they don't understand what this is all about. So they drop in from a helicopter, and there she is. And they have ladies to inspect her wardrobe to make sure there's, you know, nothing funny going on. And then he says, okay, you know, gentlemen, start your engines, which are super, super loud. And you can see her. She's absorbing all the noise from the jets. You know, this is the press conference, the demonstration of her powers. And he keeps telling them to, you know, keep going, the people, the pilots in the jets. And she's like, this is too much, because the people are covering their ears. And she's like, it's too much for them. The noise is too much. So she keeps drawing more and more and more and more and more into her. And Roman finally says, you know, cut the engines, it's over. And it says, for a moment, near silence prevails. The crowds remained hushed with awe. And at one point, like, Roman said, why'd they cut he was thinking to himself, why'd they cut the engines? It's not over. And then he's like, holy cow, they didn't cut the engines. It's just quiet, dead silence. Even the crowd is quiet. Are they in shock? No, the people are shouting and screaming. You can see their mouths moving, but there's nothing coming out. You know, basically she took all of the noise, like all the white noise, everything, nothing, total silence. And then Allison, she's like, I feel weird, I feel strange, understand what's going on. That was a lot of energy, you know, I hope I didn't hurt myself. And I mean, she's like crying, whether with like the realization of what she's done or if she's, you know, in pain. I'm not sure. But all of a sudden, the crowd just like freaks out and they run and they're screaming. They're like, let me out of here. You know, run, run. It's real. It's true. She's a mutant. And so there's Beale over there going to Roman, you know, nice work. I'll be in touch. And Roman's like, oh, as he escorts Allison off the stage, they love you. And she's like, no, they're terrified of me. And they're in the limo, and he's like, it's okay. It's all going according to plan. You know, this'll go down in history. And she's like, well, I go down in flames. And he's like, what are you talking about? She's like, nothing. So people find out where they are. You can see that they start throwing bricks at her, and she uses her light energy lasers to destroy the bricks. And as they get back, you know, in the car, he's like, how did you do that? There wasn't like any noise around. And she's like, ever since that stun at the airport, something changed in me. I can now store energy. It's, I mean, I don't need light. I don't need sound anymore to produce light all the time. I can store energy. And she also says, and something else changed. I realized that now I am totally committed to this. There's no backing out. So from now on, I'm in charge. This is what's going to happen. This is how we're going to do it. And he's just like, oh, well, okay. um, he's like, I'm just trying to spare you, you know, from having to work hard and all the details. And he's like, she's like, no, this is my butt on the line. We're doing it my way. And he's like, okay. And she starts working out and getting in shape again because, you know, she said she was fat or she, you know, gained weight. So she starts working out, getting in shape again, and she now wants a new script about the, you know, hardships of being a mutant. And wherever she goes, basically there's demonstrators, you know, with picket signs, you know, mutant free world, die, mutie, down with Dazzler, kill all the mutants, you know, everywhere she goes. You know, and of course the press, being the press, they basically they're picketing outside her home, and she's like, go away, this is, you know, my house, my private property, please leave. And they're like, no. And of course the news turns it into Dazzler threatens demonstrators like with violence. And so anyway, basically then they show her filming the movie. She's going to do all of her own stunts because she wants to show in this movie that mutant powers can be used to save people as well. Not just hurt people, but save people. You also see a news broadcast that talks about 2 weeks ago the filming began on Roman's new movie with one Allison Blair, a mutant. And basically he talks about just we believe that the mutant menace is real. We support the protesters. If something isn't done about mutants, if we humans do not take positive action to protect ourselves, then it shall not be the meek who inherit the earth. What's our option? That's our option. What's yours? So basically he's just saying that, you know, mutants call themselves Homo sapiens superior, Homo superior instead of just Homo sapiens, because they believe that some of them, that they're the next step in evolution. So basically humans are reading that as all the humans are going to die out and be replaced with mutants, and so they're scared. And plus mutants have all these powers that, all these crazy powers that, you know, you'd never dreamed that someone would actually have. So more filming on her movie, you know, these huge action explosion shots, and she gets rid of all the debris. In the other shot, you probably didn't see it because I didn't point it out, but you can see a car going through this canyon, and there's a rock slide, and she uses her power, you know, to vaporize the rocks to save the car in the movie. So anyway, now Allison is the one who's trying to reassure Roman that this film's going to be great, that he has nothing to worry about, and that, you know, again, she loves him, and he's the most wonderful man in the world. And so basically the film gets finished. They go to premiere it, you know, just them. They go to see it, and you know, it's a really good film. I mean, they're both really happy with it, but protesters break into the studio. They're supposed to be guards, but the guards have disappeared, so they break in and surround them, and Allison uses her light powers, you know, to temporarily blind them, and they escape. And then she does it again. She's trying not to hurt them. She just wants to blind them, and so that they can escape and everything. And she goes to talk to the studio manager, said, "Where are the guards?" And he's like, "I let them go for their own safety." And she gets a call saying that she needs to meet Roman at Mr. Beale's office. And so basically, Roman's not there. Eric Beale's there. And she's like, "Where's Roman?" And he's like, "Oh, he's probably packing. He's halfway. Like, he's getting on a flight. He is taking time off. He's going on a world tour to try to salvage his professional reputation, because he's under, my company now, and he's forbidden from talking to you ever again." And she's like, "There's no way that he would do that." And she's like, "See you for yourself." And you can see the signed contract right there. And she's like, "I don't understand." And he's like, "Let me explain. I don't want to be associated with your little movie anymore. I'm too much negative publicity. I'm pulling the plug. She's like, "You can't do that. Roman has total control." And he's like, he laughs at her and he's like, "You idiot. I was the one pulling the strings all the time, all this time. Roman didn't even suspect you were immune. I'm the one who did. I just got him to confirm it. That's his only true gift, is deceiving stupid women." And he goes on to say, stupid ones anyway, whose bust measurement exceeds our IQ. That's nice. I mean, he's a super nice guy. I mean, you must be, he goes on to say, stupid to believe Roman would willingly jeopardize his career by revealing to the world that his co-star, and he uses a very not nice word for a woman, was a mutant. And Allison's like, "Why? I don't understand. Why are you doing this? Just because I turned you down?" And he's like, "No, don't flatter yourself. What my insurance doesn't cover is deductible. So basically he makes money either way." And he's like, "Besides, it was a small price to pay for acquiring Roman basically as his property, because he signed that contract saying pretty much Eric was in charge and he would do whatever he said." And he's like, Eric gives her the same deal, provided she does exactly the same thing. Like, he now owns her. At first he wanted her just, for sex, and now it's just business. Basically now he just wants to own her. He's like, "Either do it or I'm going to burn this film. Like, the only copy of your film is right here in this office, and I am willing to burn it so that no one ever sees it." Because Allison really wanted the movie to be made so that people would have a more positive view of mutants. And Eric says, "I've seen your film. It's really good, and it might just have the impact you want it to. So if you sign this contract, basically being my slave, then you can still have your dream. You just have to do exactly what I say. And if not, forget about it. Forget about your career, your movie, everything." So she signs it, but it says, "Go suck an egg." And she destroys the film and destroys the contracts, everything. And Eric's like, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing? What have you done? That film's worth hundreds of millions of dollars." And she's like, "It was worth it." So basically, she didn't want to be under his thumb. So she destroyed the movie herself. And Roman comes running up to her and like, "Oh, I have to destroy the contract. I'm so sorry. I can't believe I ever signed that." And he's like, "I'm so sorry. I care about you. I love you." And she's like, "I love you too, but I have to leave. I don't want to ruin your reputation any more than it already is. I want you to." And he's like, "I'll recover, I'm Roman, whatever his last name is, I'll get back on top." And the good news is that the upfront money that we got from the movie paid off my debts, so I broke even. So that's why he needed to make another movie, because he was broke. Very broke. And again, This is what she told Freddie in the very beginning. She's like, I'm leaving because I don't want to be an anchor weighing you down. I want to make it on my own and be a star because I deserve to be a star, not riding on anyone's coattails. Understand? And she's like, I still love you. And he's like, I love you too. And he's like, I'll be seeing your name in lights. And she's like, you can count on it. And the very last panel says, you're going to be okay, Miss Blair. So it's interesting to me that the theme of this was I want to be a star, but I want to be it because I deserve to be a star and not because of anyone else. That's what she told Freddie at the very beginning when he's like, why didn't you go out with Eric? And then she fell into that same trap with Roman, basically being a star because he was going to kind of do not all the work for her, but she was riding on his coattails, just like she said at the end, that she didn't want to do. And I think she was just momentarily blinded by all the gifts, the perks of being with Roman. I'm sure she got jewelry and she got all the clothes and she got to go all these exotic fun places. She got this brand new beautiful house. So so remember this conversation for Beauty and the Beast because it'll be relevant again, and that's why I wanted to do this first before we talked about Beauty and the Beast, because we have a lot to talk about after we finish up that series. So I hope you join me for that, and until next time, bye.